Thank me for saying this. Hopefully he'll score this weekend, because if he celebrates, he will celebrate by doing a military salute.
A military salute,
yeah.
Absolutely right. Well, Sid, while we were down in Malaga, we also caught up with a few Guiris, or foreigners, as the Spanish like to call us.
Guiris, yes.
Well,
Guiris,
yeah. Well, they call themselves the Guiri Army, and they're a group of Malaga fans that support the team through thick and thin.
Malaga, 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 Malaga. Come on, girls. Oh, Malaga! It's wonderful! It's wonderful! Take me home, Malaga road, to the place I belong. Rosalina, they'll find me. Take me home, Malaga road.
The International Peña has over 170 paid-up members.
The Guiri Army is just a collection of foreigners, because that's what the Guiri stands for, and we obviously meet once every 2 weeks to go down and watch a football match. A lot of the people who go down can't remember getting back, obviously, obvious reasons.
Everybody at Malaga, the Spanish Malaga fans, obviously they all know us, so I think we've sort of forged a bit of a reputation down there as the Guiri Army.
I've been a season ticket holder since 1999, and we never knew where our seat was. And we still don't know to this day.
I came to Spain in 1986 and I started supporting Malaga a year later. My first game was against Sevilla in La Rosaleda, and I more or less got the bug as from then.
I think firstly, Malaga is, because it's not one of the sort of the top clubs, and it has a very modest budget, people are inspired by the club. They feel that this is a club that is going somewhere.
My name's Steve Phillips. I played professional football for 20 years, from 1969 to 1989. I played for 9 clubs. I played 698 games and scored 264 goals.
So how many shirts do you think you've got in here, do you know?
536.
You've counted them?
Yes. I played for Birmingham City for 6 years. I played 4 years at Northampton, 4 years at Brentford. And when I was at Brentford, I was the top goal scorer of the Football League in 1977. I scored 36 goals in one season. I played 2 years at Torquay, 2 years at Peterborough, Exeter, Chesterfield, 4 years at Southend, and 3 years at Northampton. So, all in all, I was very lucky. I managed to play for a long time. Now, I've had this bar for 10 years. We've been going to the Malaga game since I've been here.
Well, the Peña International, or Guiri Army as they're also known, are very popular with the Spanish fans, but I can tell you they're also popular with the team, the Malaga side, and in particular manager Antonio Tapia.
Somos conscientes de ello, los escuchamos, están muy integrados con nuestra afición y bueno, hay que agradecerles que se identifiquen con nuestros colores, que animen a nuestro equipo todos los domingos y ojalá en un futuro pues aumente el número de afluencia a nuestro campo de espectadores extranjeros.
Sid, 2,000 foreign fans in La Rosaleda every Sunday. It's quite impressive, isn't it?
It's really impressive. The songs are the same as in England. Obviously, it'd be nice to try and mix the two songs up from the Spanish into the English. We were talking to them earlier in the season, weren't we, about to what extent they can kind of teach the Spanish some songs and learn some songs in return. It's fantastic for a club like Malaga because what it gives them is the opportunity, if you like, to kind of pull on a different part of society, because a lot of Spanish clubs are struggling at the moment in terms of fans not turning up and so on. And this in particular goalkeeper, for example, is something that Mallorca have failed miserably to do, and that is to get English and Germans and Dutch from the island to tune into their club. Yeah. Malaga have done so, and it's to their enormous credit that those fans are not just watching their teams on satellite TV, but going and watching Malaga every week. I think it's fantastic.
It really is. Sid, every week I ask you for a lowdown on the next rival. You may have noticed you didn't get a phone call this week.
No, I didn't get a phone call this week. I was most upset until I realised you'd asked someone who actually knew.
Yeah, I was going to say, we actually asked someone who really knew their stuff.
Who knows what they're talking about. Good.
Absolutely right. Over to Reggie.
Someone who actually knew.
Yeah, I was going to say, we actually asked someone who really knew their stuff.
Who knows what they're talking about. Good.
Absolutely right. Over to Reggie.
Right, who I think is going to play for Malaga? We know the team that he's going to pick, which is obviously he's going to pick his strongest team because all the players are available. They'll set up with one up front, which will be Salva, with Bahar tucked in behind. Eliseu will play on the right, Duda will play on the left. I think Malaga's objective will be probably to get round the back, especially if they can get at Heinze with the pace of Eliseu, can get some balls into the box and possibly get Salva or Bahar on the end of one of the crosses and try and get the first goal. If they do, obviously it'll set them up for the game, so I can get an early goal, which will make Madrid's task more difficult. But I think Madrid, maybe for the first half hour, they'll expect Malaga to have a bit of a go at them, quieten the crowd, and the Rosaleda is quite an intimidating stadium to come to, and they don't do bad at home. They don't lose many games there, so I think Madrid, like I said, will try and quieten the crowd and possibly push on to Malaga a bit in the second half. I think it will be a draw. Personally, I think it'll be a 1-1 draw, which I would be very happy with.
Well, Heinze suspended, of course. Sid, you wouldn't have made that mistake, would you?
No, of course not.
Well,
I think I might just take off this microphone now and hand it on to Reggie. You can come here next week. That was far better than anything I've ever produced. I'll pick up on a couple of things he said, and I think he's absolutely right. I mean, of course he's right. He knows something. I don't.
Yeah.
But there are a couple of key things. He talked about the early goal, and I think that would be particularly important because Malaga quite often play on the break, particularly with the pace of Eliseu on the right-hand side. And if Malaga can get the first goal, it's not just that will damage Real Madrid, it will force Madrid out. And Madrid we've seen play on the break quite a lot. If Malaga can return that and say, no, actually we're going to play on the break, then I think they can cause Madrid problems. And the other thing is, while Heinze is not there, it will probably be Miguel Torres. Miguel Torres isn't quick either. No. So I do think the pace of Eliseu will be very, very important.
Let's see who you think is going to play for Malaga this weekend.
As you are actually asking
I'm going to ask you
I thought we were just going to trust Reggie from start to finish.
Well, I need the defence as well. I trust Reggie on the
this is essentially, I think, pretty much the team that Reggie would have said. I mean, we've got Bacca alongside Luque rather than Salva. I'm not entirely convinced one way or the other, but I do think that they've got basically three strikers to choose from in two places. And at the back four that we've seen pretty much all season, with, as I say, Jesus Gana, who I think has been brilliant.
He certainly has, hasn't he? And Wellington as well.
Wellington could play.
Well, it all happened a couple of weeks ago now, but here's a reminder of the very best goals from around 20.